earlier.
Yep.
Now, I've never heard of Sorrow Rush before, but I'm sure that he's probably pretty good considering he's on the pro team, the pro Taiwanese team, Gama Bears.
Yeah, the Gama
Lowly's-
Bears have probably got the sickest logo and the sickest jackets out.
They do.
Period.
They definitely do. It's hard to compete with that, you know?
It's I do have to agree with that. It's pretty good. imba.FXO, not the best logo, not the best jackets. Pretty strong team though.
Yeah, they have good
Lowly's gonna be
players.
their starter, and they got Strelok and Braddock amongst others just sitting down, waiting. I would love to see Gama Bears send out Sen.
Yeah, I think actually Gama Bears might need to send out Sen to beat this lineup. I mean, FXO has a really strong team, a lot of great foreigners, so I don't know. We're just going to have to see what Sorrow Rush has in store for us. Looks like he is going for a fast expansion build right off the bat. Not scouting after the pylon going down. That's kind of odd.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I don't scout when I do that as Protoss, but I don't know how to play Protoss. I can't figure out, like, why do you need to scout? Just
Well,
I mean, if you're gonna forge first anyways, there's not much that you can do.
well, no, if
based
you're
on
going
what
to
you're
forge
scouting
first, then it really doesn't matter. But I mean, if you scout, you might not have to forge first. So that's the difference. Also, because this is a 4-player map, not scouting would mean that your opponent could get a fast expansion hatch or something right off the bat, and it would be really hard for you to stop it, especially if you scouted last. Like right now, even if you made a forge and you scouted last, it would be difficult for him to stop a fast expansion. He's still not scouting though after the forge, so it looks like he doesn't need a vision to know how to play this map or matchup. So looks like he already has everything already planned out. We do have the drone coming down here. I'd really like to see this drone make a hatchery, cancel it, and make an evolution chamber.
Or just leave the hatchery building. That's good as well. And no, yeah, for real.
You would let it complete in like Spine Rush.
No, sometimes you let it complete, sometimes you don't. Maybe here, like, if you let it complete, it forces out 2 cannons. If they just make 1 cannon and you let it complete at their expansion, we're talking about 1 proxy hatching 101, but this is only blocking expansion proxy hatch, right? If you make a queen and then drop a creep tumor, they're dead. So they need 2 cannons. They can never expand.
Have you done this before, where you like build a queen at their natural and drop a creep tumor?
Yeah, I've done it before. Again, like, if he had the monies to drop a hatchery, he would have forced out 2 cannons, or he would have denied the expansion forever. It's good stuff.
It's hilarious.
Indeed.
That's pretty good. Alright, so we do see the expansion going down here for Lowly. He is not going any kind of gas. It looks like he might just go straight up to a 3 hatch, maybe before gas, which I actually like that style of play. We do have a couple of Zerglings trying to run in here and get some scouting, but the cannon snipes them pretty easily.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I really like what Lowly is doing here. Just negating the gas, I agree with that 100%. There's no reason to get the gas against the fast expand. There's nothing he's gonna have to defend against anytime soon that requires for him to have link speed really fast. So,
Very true. We do have a probe actually getting a scout in on Lowly's base. This actually might be the first time he's scouted anything, which I think it is. So he does go in. He sees that there is no gas, and yeah.
Yeah, so we might see a Stalker or 2 Chrono Boosted here. He did take both gases at his main pretty fast after the fast expansion. And there we go, Lowly is about to take his 3rd now. And still no gas.
Yeah. Seems like you need gas a little bit. Well, there's his first gas going down. This is okay. This isn't that bad. He's just going to have to make some slow Zerglings, which aren't really cost efficient versus like early Protoss aggression, I would say. Or even holding map control. Slow Zerglings aren't that good. So if Protoss decides to put aggression on him, then he's going to have to. But right now we see a +1 already started, being chrono boosted and get research. So it does look like maybe he's going to do that, the 4-gate +1 Zealot timing, where it's like a really fast 7.5, 8-minute rush.
Yeah, it looks that way. I would have preferred to see adaptive play. I'm a big fan of that. I would have liked to see that Stalker go out and harass a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's, as you said before, it looks like Zoro Rush just has a game plan. He knows what he's gonna do, and he's gonna stick to that.
Right.
So there's the 4 gates that you were talking about, and yeah, I think we're gonna see some solid harass. I would like to see maybe double starport follow up or something like that.
Yeah, that would be definitely be good.
Now.
Lowly has a slow overlord creeping up here. Oh, never mind. He stops right outside of Zoro Rush's base. I thought he was going to sneak in there and try to get a good scout in, which would be really good considering there is no stalker or no anti-air to stop this overlord from just scouting away.
Yep. Zoro Rush playing a style that's very common these days. It's just he's just gonna go and try to deny the third, and basically if he manages to deny the third, kill the third, do damage to the third, he's gonna be way ahead. The 4 gates will be done in a second here, and there's already a forward pylon, Jake. This is not looking good for Lowly.
Yeah, Lowly is definitely in trouble. You really need, like, to get cost effectiveness out of it, you really need roaches, and we don't see the Roach Warren. The Roach Warren's at like 30%, so it's definitely not going to be up in time. The first 4 zealots are over here. There is no Zerglings in production. He is definitely going to have to abandon this hatchery. He is saving all the drones, and even saved the queen somehow. I would have thought the queen might have went down, but like 1 zealot on top of it, pretty much dies instantly. 4 more zealots being warped in here, so now it's 8 plus 1 attack zealot. So that's pretty strong versus any kind of Zergling. So he obviously has to abandon the hatchery. And, you know, it's alright. He can just go back and remake the hatchery. It's going to slow him down a little bit, but I don't think it's anything near the end of the game.
Yeah, definitely. He did produce a lot of drones. Now, this is dangerous, though. How many roaches do we have in production? 9 roaches in production, so he should be good. I don't necessarily agree with the second warp in of zealots, or the third one that he just warped in.
Yeah.
That's 8 zealots too many. He could have taken a third instead. He could have... Oh, and double starport! Yes, I love that. Stargate, whatever they're called.
It's the same thing.
I love this follow-up. I love this follow-up.
Yeah, I've actually been playing against this quite a bit lately, and, you know, after the zealots, you never expect the Stargates, right? But, it does look like
have to expect their gas to go somewhere. So
a lot of times they don't get, like, the gas of the expansion for a long time, so I just always assumed, like, okay, now they're warping in centuries or something. But
that's likely too, yeah. I always like to think, like, where the gas is. Maybe I usually drop a spore, just in case it's either a Stargate or DT that covers both.
Yeah.
But double Stargate is really tricky to play against. And I don't know why he warped in so many zealots. And like you mentioned earlier, like, the only way to be cost efficient against zealots is gonna be roaches. So Void Race, obviously, hard counter roaches.
They do.
So it's a nice follow-up. I like it's a nice, solid follow-up.
Yep. I would like to see some better creep spread from our Zerg player here. His creep spread is very minimal at this point.
Definitely. There's a Void Race. And yeah.
Yeah, 4 Void Race is going to clean up these roaches pretty fast. Especially once they get charged up.
Still making Void Race. As opposed to Phoenixes.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Yeah.
A lot of times, especially after 4 Void Rays, they'll switch to Phoenix, and then they'll just keep massing those units. But no, not the special tactics from Zoro Rush. Looks like he's just going to keep massing them Void Rays. He remembers the days when they had the speed upgrade. Like, Void Rays killed everything.
Yeah, definitely. And it's very unexpected that people will mass Void Rays like he is right now.
Yeah.
So,
you know, he could easily follow this up with, you know, like a Colossus follow-up as well. Do like a Void Ray Colossus charge lot type army composition.
I would love that. I also love this, though. He's going for a Templar Archives.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
Charged.
Yeah, that's just as good.
For Lowly, though.
Yeah, good thing Hydras crawl on hands and knees trying to catch stuff. It's impossible.
Yeah. And, that's a little bit late of a third, I feel like, for Zoro Rush. Again, those zealots that he worked in really kind of slowed him down a bunch. This is very smart, but very risky for Lowly as well. If Zoro Rush had been going for any sort of all-in instead of taking a third, this could be incredibly dangerous. But as is, he had just been making nothing other than Void Race, so this is a pretty strong attack.
Yeah, I think all these Hydras are going to go down. They are going to pick off the forge and stuff, but I feel like
Don't let him run away! Let him run away, Jake.
Yeah, I don't know why he let him run away. I didn't even know Hydras could actually run away. I just like A-move them and then that's it, because like they can't really retreat unless your opponent lets them. But it looks like he was afraid of it. You know, Void Rays are actually surprisingly pretty good versus Hydras.
Yeah, especially once they get charged. Okay. Oh, I think he was waiting for the Cella charge, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that was a little bit risky. I feel like Lowly had the time to just pull back there, and that's what he should have done. Storm not yet on the way though. He might just be going for Cella Archon, which I'm not sure I agree with against Hydras.
You know, I just looked at the saturation at these hatcheries and expansions, and they're actually really terrible by Lowly. He only has 54 drones out at this stage of the game. You really should have like 70 or more at this stage of the game, you know? So I don't think he has enough economy to produce just to keep up with what our Protoss is going to be throwing at him.
Yeah, that's why I think Strelok just say Lowly dal nos sabil.
Is that what that means?
Strelok said in chat, Lowly del's not sabil. What that means remains, I'm not sure what it means, but I'm pretty sure it means, I don't know what Lowly is doing right now. And, oh, it looks like it's gonna work though. I still don't know why no Storm. Archons don't seem like the right choice here. Oh, those Void Rays, man, they're starting to get charged up. Everything's dying, Jake.
Yeah, that's what Protoss does. They kill stuff.
Yeah, the longer this game goes, the worse for Zerg too. Just because of the lack of drones.
Yep, definitely. There's so many Void Rays. 10 Void Rays up on the map. No, 11. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a ton of Void Rays. And Piss deck, man. Piss deck.
Yeah. Like we see a counterattack coming right now from Lowly. And he might kill this expansion, but it's like, you know, does it matter necessarily? Of course, he actually doesn't have anything anywhere, really. You see a couple of Zealots being warped in, but not very much at home. No cannons anywhere. Okay. But still just so much Void Rays and stuff going on at the natural. More Queens being produced, and lots of Single Crawlers being thrown down, but I don't think it's going to be near enough.
No, it doesn't seem that way. I like the fact that Lowly made all those Hydras against the Void Rays. I would have liked Storm from Sorrow Rush, but you know, worked without it. And yeah, the only thing was like the lack of drones, man. Like he just couldn't produce that much.
Right.
Infestors would have been great too. But oh well. Void Rays are good units. It's really
I just noticed something, and you're about to be really sad or mad at Lowly. Click the Hydralist in for me.
Huh?
Click the Hydralist in.
Oh no.
So he massed Hydras without the range upgrade, so yeah. That's not good
that
either.
makes a huge difference. That fight was actually, I was like, that fight looks pretty close. Lowly might pull this off.
Yep.
Yeah,
and the range upgrade might have made all the difference in the world.
Yeah. I just got from production, I just got a tip from production. Protoss is making carriers and a mothership.
Carriers are good.
Yeah. And that's gonna be game.
Alright, GG. So that was, I don't know, that was an interesting game. That's how I'll label that one. It was interesting. I mean, we did see a nice play by Lowly. I mean, by Sorrow Rush. But Lowly didn't feel like he played very reactionary at all. I mean, you know, it's very easy to scout what your opponents might be doing, at least with their forge, right? Because it's out in front. So even just poking in there with a Zergling or something, you could see that he's chrono boosting an upgrade or something like that. And all those kind of things can tip you off of what you should and shouldn't be doing. And, you know, he made a ton of drones at the beginning, but then after he lost his third, he never made another drone the rest of the game. You know, he really needed to. He went and took another expansion. I didn't even feel like he was actually behind, but he never stopped making units after that point, where he should have, you know, just stopped making units.
Yeah, I agree. They were both on 2 base. He had a ton of drones. He had the tech going, double upgrades. I think he was just fine. The Void Rays were really nice. Void Rays are hard to deal with, and you never know how many they're gonna make or whatever. But then he saw 4 Void Rays with his roaches, so he could have just like, I mean, it was pretty obvious that it was 2 Stargates or 2 Starports, whatever they're called. I always Stargates, right?
Yeah, Stargates.
But yeah, I mean, Hydras weren't that bad of a choice. The range upgrade might have made a huge difference, though.
Yeah, the range upgrade made a difference, and also just not having the economy to really support the build he wanted to do. Like Hydras aren't a cheap unit. They're not like making lots of Zerglings. You got to have a pretty good economy to keep pumping and throwing away Hydras. So,
yeah, and that's what he did at the start too. He threw away a bunch of Hydras for relatively nothing.
Yep, that's very true. So, so that means it's going to be tied up 1-1. So let's see if FXO can take the next series, and we'll be back after this short break.